The get permission approach is a way of looking at mealtime interactions, a way of looking at the relationship between children and their parents at mealtimes. In the get permission approach, the adult sets the direction. The adult sets the goals. We know that we want children to learn to move from tube feeding to oral feeding. We know we want to help the child move from breast or bottle to solids. We know that in the next progression in a feeding transition, lumps and textures would be appropriate. But the child in the get permission approach sets the pace. It's the adult job to offer food opportunities and the child's job to let us know this one's working, wait, this one's not working. And so we follow the child's pace. It's trust-based, it's sensitive, and it's a partnership and a dance between the child and the parent. In a get permission approach, some of the key words we use are offer. The parent offers opportunities for food flavors and food textures. And the child lets the parent know, I like that, let's have some more, I want it, opening their mouth, reaching for the food. A key word is trust. The baby trusts that the parent is not going to offer them food that's too big, too scary, too unfamiliar. The parent trusts that the baby is going to let them know this one's working, this one's not working. And the parent trusts the baby's going to let them know when they've had enough. In the get permission approach, we look at keywords such as enjoyment. Parents should enjoy feeding their children, and children should enjoy being fed. And when we have a situation where the child isn't enjoying eating because they can't eat, they don't have enough energy to eat, they don't know how to eat, they're choking, aspirating, have reflux. If something's going wrong for that child in eating, they're not enjoying it. The parent, on the other hand, should also be enjoying feeding their child. And if the child is pushing away, uncomfortable, if the relationship is out of balance, then something needs to be done to help the parent and the child come back together in a positive way for mealtimes. Another key word in the get permission approach is confidence. We want children to develop confidence in their oral skills, confidence in their ability to chew, to suck, to swallow, to interact with food. And we want to introduce children to foods in such a way as they can build on the skills they have and develop appropriate developmental confidence in the next skills. And the last concept to talk about in the get permission approach is internal motivation. When children are breastfeeding, they eat, they're done, they finish. They know when they've had enough. They're internally motivated to eat enough, and we know it's working when the child's growing. When a child is tube fed, adults are in charge of how much that child eats. Adults are putting the food in that tube. Adults are making those decisions in general. We'd like to help in a get permission approach for children to be able to know that when they indicate they've had enough, parents listen. So if a child is comfortably accepting the food that's being put in their stomach, all is going well. That's working. But many children are fed from a tube and pulling up their legs, widening their eyes, arching and pulling away, and saying, this isn't working for me. Parents need to listen, as they would listen to the breastfed child who stops the feeding, as they would listen to a bottle-fed child who pulls away, as they would listen to a child in a high chair who is stopping their meal and done, throwing food all over the place. Those children are ending the meals because they're internally motivated to be done. Tube-fed children also need to be able to end the meal by letting us know, or we need to be able to end the meal by reading their cues so that their internal motivation is listened to.